Hey, what's up, guys? So I'm at the Danny Elfman question and answer session over at RandomDreamerStudios. Studios. And as you can see, people are lining up, waiting to show up, waiting for Mr. Elfman to show up, and having a pretty good time. Let's see. There's about over a few hundred people supposed to be here, because I was told I was one of the first 200, and because of that, I got a free autographed poster by Danny Elfman and autographed Dark Shadows soundtrack by Danny Elfman. So yeah, so it should be fun.
Your first name is Terry, and you got a +1. Everything is right in the world. All right.
2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Good.
Check 1 2.
Sorry. Okay. Okay, so your total is 108.75.
Excuse me, my man.
Hi guys, how are you? Good, how are you? Good. So we've got the Elfman Burton 20th anniversary set. It's $3.99. And then we're also selling the Dark Shadows soundtrack. David, sign.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Sorry.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, how you doing?
20? Yes. Okay, good. Glad you can. No, they're gonna start that line at 4:30, and then they're gonna call you up in accordance to your wristband. Yeah, I have my annual event where we get proposed.
Okay, guys. So we just since I was one of the first 200, I was able to go inside the gift shop, and I got this Danny Elfman signed soundtrack. You can see that. I don't know if it's too far, but yeah. So it should be fun. I'm hoping to get a chance to meet him. I don't know if they'll let me do that or not, but we'll see. We should film each other. It's a crossover episode.
Yeah, you got it's not gone.
It was a what?
Crossover. Plug your YouTube channel.
Oh, Nicky630.
If you want to go see his angle, go there. If you want to see mine, you go to RandomDreamerStudios.com.
What was that?
RandomDreamerStudios.com.
Cool. Yeah, mine's it's a Nicky 6 reference, but I don't know if people are gonna get that though.
The Nicky 6 people would.
Yeah.
Poison right now.
Yeah, it's a guy from I think Striker, something like that. Some Christian metal band, something like that.
No, they're talking about Nicky 6 things. They're saying how.
Also, because my name's Nick too, so that's why I made that.
Well, rocker people get it. Like, I mean, obviously, if you're hanging out with like, do you have a girlfriend?
I don't.
Okay, so then if you were talking to a girl who liked rap music and you start talking about Nicky 6, and she's not gonna.
Yeah.
I like Drake. Oh, that's nice. You're sweet.
His name's Wheelchair Jimmy, actually, not Drake.
Oh yeah, because he was on the
Degrassi, man. Also, we don't have any true Degrassi fans over here.
No, there's people that remember that, but it's also like it takes them a second because like.
I remember the episode why he became Wheelchair Jimmy.
Was he in a gang?
His dad hit him. No,
it's always something really bad.
His dad pushed him down a flight of stairs. No,
that was my second guess.
No, like there's some crazy kid. Remember, like he had like long hair, he had glasses. I didn't really watch it.
I have a girlfriend. That's how Degrassi's in my head. Like it's like any guy that saw Twilight has a girlfriend. It's the same thing. Like it just absorbed it that way. So okay, no, there's a rocker guy and long hair. They get no fight.
No, he's not. He's not so much a rocker guy. And actually, this is the only real episode of Degrassi I've ever seen. This is how I know.
I've been waiting for this moment.
No, apparently there's some kid that they just kept picking on, like this group of kids, and he's just one of those kids that just fucking snaps after like the last straw, and he thought it was like Jimmy, whatever the character's name is. So he brought a gun to school and he shot him in the back. So that's how he.
No, is was this episode pre-Columbine or post-Columbine? Like, was it one of those things where Degrassi, like, you know, saw kids in school and thought this is where it's going, or is it afterwards and they covered it?
I have no idea. I'm not really Degrassi. Like,
well, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you know, like, yeah. Or how old were you when you watched that episode? How old do you think you were?
Of what?
Like, how old do you think
Degrassi?
you were? Yeah, when you saw that episode, if you were 16 and we just started doing math, then you're 20-something.
It was a rerun.
Oh, even worse.
Yeah.
You fell asleep, woke up, it was just on. Like I
fell asleep for a few years, and the rerun was on.
So there's one place to guard. Everything else you just empty. And
you don't have to guard it. It's already impossible.
It's funny. That person came in. It's coming down.
Oh, you come up. You want to go backstage? So I look back and say,
yeah. Okay. So
just climb the monorail thing. It's one way.
And no one's thinking.
The mics are on. Oh my gosh, that's very loud. Any Danny Elfman fans? Danny here. I'm Jeff Bond. I wrote the book on Danny Elfman, not his bios, which apparently he handles. But
that's an in-joke that he's referring to.
Always
I
great for
my
an
way
audience.
through many bios over many years.
This is why people believe he's from Texas. It's not true. Where are you from originally?
I was born in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles,
Yeah.
see? So we're going to talk about Dark Shadows. And do we have any Dark Shadows fans here? All right. So we're going to try to bring these two disparate groups together over the course of this evening. Now, I have not, like many of you, I have not seen Dark Shadows, but I've heard the music.
Is a prologue, which is extremely melodramatic. I mean, people, suicides off of cliffs and, the setup for it. So, in other words, it's not comedy in the sense of like, we're not talking about Judd Apatow. It's not that kind of comedy. It's comedy through Tim Burton lens of very quirky characters, and the comedic part of the story, of course, is Barnabas Collins returning 200 years later to 1972. When we see him in the past, it's not funny, and when we see other people's past, he's dealing with it very dramatically and seriously. But the interfacing of this 18th century character in 1972, of course, lends itself to a lot of ridiculous situations, which Tim has a lot of delight in.
So when you portrays him, and you've worked, obviously worked with Tim Burton on a number of films, and because of that you wound up scoring a number of films that feature Johnny Depp, and you know him personally. So how do you sort of react to him in particular in this film? Do you score from the point of view of character when you're working on a film like this?
I don't know. I mean, for me, it's fun watching Johnny grow. It's interesting that Sunday I did a concert at Royce Hall where they were playing live music from Edward Scissorhands, and they did live in sync to a couple of scenes. And hearing Johnny talk then, as opposed to last night while I was at the premiere of Dark Shadows, I was just noticing how wonderfully he's matured his voice. I mean, he's really developed a beautiful, rich voice that he didn't have. And in fact, just also the other night I was watching a little bit of him in Gilbert Grape, and God, he sounded like a kid. And that was 19 years ago, but he developed this richness of his voice. It doesn't just happen. And so that's kind of remarkable, because his voice as Barnabas and his last few characters and his voice in Sweeney Todd, it's really a beautiful voice. Yeah. Like me, used to write songs, and he said he wanted a score, and I really did ask him outright. I said, why me? And he showed me the movie, and I went and I wrote a demo. I did a piece of music on an 8-track tape player and played all the parts and sent a cassette tape. Didn't think twice about it. Figured I'd never hear from them again. And I got a call about 2 weeks later, and I'd been hired. And I seriously, for a night, considered not taking the job. And I actually told my manager at that time, tell him I can't do it. And he said, why? He says, I don't want to fuck up their movie. I don't know who scored them. And he said, I've been working on this for 2 weeks. You call him and tell him. Here's the number. And I really thought about it, and I thought about it, and then I think I just didn't have the nerve to make the phone call, which is how I became a film composer. But the idea of using the vibes and the bass flute and the bass clarinet as solo instruments for a lot of the score came from the inspiration of the original TV music.
Now I know that obviously you're a fan of horror, and that was something that was a big inspiration for you growing up. So, but you were not aware of Dark Shadows growing up. Did you have any exposure to the original series?
Yeah, I didn't like it. I remember when it came on. Now, the difference between, because I was just watching Tim Burton and Johnny Depp talking about how much they were fans of it, but I also realized that they were fans of reruns, because Johnny's 10 years younger than me, so when he was 13 or whatever, 14, he would have been watching reruns. So they were much deeper into the mythology and probably better stuff to look at. When I started watching it, it was just out, and it was like, oh, a gothic, there's vampires, but there was no blood. So I tuned it in 2-3 weeks in a row. I ran home, I was very excited, and there's no blood. And for me, if there's no blood, there's no entertainment, and there's no entertainment, I'm not going to watch anymore. It was romantic, and for me, at whatever, 14 years old, romance was the absolute antithesis of anything I ever wanted to see on the screen. I lived around the block from the Baldwin Hills movie theater right on, it's just off of La Cienega and the Coliseum there. And for 5 years I lived at Malibu, and he used to come out, and I'd serve him a martini. He'd sit and watch the sun go down and then go in. It's like, I figured that was a really good thing, but now he's usually like not taking the martini anymore. But what if I could? I'd always be, at the beach with a martini before listening to music. I found that was very helpful. But it hasn't changed in 26 years. It really hasn't. I mean, the list is endless. I'd kill to do Good, Bad, and the Ugly, or The Godfather, or Lawrence of Arabia, or Citizen Kane, or these are like amazing musical moments that just once-in-a-lifetime things. Once Upon a Time in the West. I would love to have done anything with Fellini or Sergio Leone. Any one of Fellini's films, just pick any one, and but it's not going to happen.
Richard, are you asking a question? Nice at the Warner Brothers Boutique, and I want to thank Danny Elfman and Warner Brothers.
Thank you very much.
Please don't bother me.
Woo! Well, that was a very exciting evening I just had. I got to meet my hero, Danny Elfman, of course. I can't begin to explain how awesome it feels to finally exchange words with someone who I've looked up to for many, many years. It's just very fulfilling. And I can't wait to talk to him again someday, Only this time, the question I'll be asking him is, what instrument should we put at this part of the movie? I know someday I'll work with him. I don't know when, I don't know how, but, I will someday. I know it. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later.